All right. Should probably have a little bit of a game plan. Did you already press record?
I already pressed record.
We have no game plan.
Well, I guess we can do the thing where we can talk for a little bit and then get Danny or something.
Yeah, we could see about that. Yeah, there we go.
Pull that in closer.
Yeah. So I realized last episode I was spending like the whole time looking at you because the microphone was like right here. I don't like looking at your face that much. I was also told right before this that I apparently use the F word too much on this podcast. But that's just how I am, so I'll try and not cuss as much, I guess.
You can still.
I still will, obviously. Just not as much. It is kind of not appealing when people overcuss, and I'm certainly one of those people. I don't even mean to do it. It just comes out of me. I pepper the F word in a lot of my sentences. I feel like it's an enhancer.
It's a sentence enhancer.
It really gets my point across. Whatever I want to say, if I fucking say the F word in there, then you're going to listen more. Maybe. Or maybe that's just me. I'll listen to people more if they swear. If I catch a swear word and I'm out on the street somewhere, I got to look to see what's going on. Maybe something cool's happening.
I use my fucks a little more conservatively. I certainly use them, and I certainly don't shy away from using them. But I save them for when it counts, I guess.
Not me. I say
because if I'm
lots of F's and shizzies and.
Well, if I'm talking about any old fucking thing, then
see?
you know it waters down the fuck.
Yeah, it really does. But that's just I watch a lot of filthy programs that use a lot of swear words, so it's just built into me. I grew up watching fucking South Park. Grew up watching South Park.
Well,
and whatnot.
You can call it
too.
fucking South Park.
Fucking South Park and shit.
Yeah,
See, that's what I was about.
Those are pioneers of swearing
and Sunny and stuff too. So a lot of stuff that swears.
Yeah. What's this beer we're drinking?
I got it because there's this dog on the front, so it's Motley Zoo, and it was pale ale. And I was like, okay, that looks like my dog. It's Chihuahua, so I'll get it. And then upon further inspection of the label, it's just Postdocs pale ale. They just put a new label on it to save animals or something.
It says Animal Rescue.
So good thing, right? I like animals.
Yeah.
It's actually something in my jobless life that I've been looking into. Something to work with animals.
Doing what?
Dogs. Just working with dogs. I don't want to work with cats or anything else. Cats suck. But, yeah, work at like a doggy daycare or something. Even something if I have to go get a fucking big old... Oh, man, I just did it again. If I got to get a big old van and some cheap van somewhere, some windowless rape van, but I do not rape in it. I pick up dogs and take them to the park and play with them.
Oh, okay.
Because I heard about someone doing that. I saw a news story. I was like, that's what I should do.
Well, do you think it would be worth it to make your van look exactly like the one from Dumb and Dumber?
Sheepdog?
The Shag and Wagon?
No. That would cost too much. Yeah. Actually, it might not cost too much to just get carpet and just put it on your car. But living up here, I don't want to have carpet on my car.
Yeah, with all the rain
it rains and now my car weighs like 1,000 pounds more.
Yeah.
My fucking tires are going to be rubbing up and just exploding. Now, a video I saw was a guy in Oregon, and he got a big old, I think it was an old like short bus. Took out all the seats in the back and just like put on the words, like whatever's doggy daycare. And that's what he does. He just has clients and he wakes up, goes to their house, picks up their dogs, plays with them fucking like all day, and then takes them home. And it seems awesome. And people in Seattle will spend that money.
There are more, in the city of Seattle, there are more dogs than kids.
Good. That sounds like I want to go to Seattle more now. More dogs than children.
Well, people in Seattle bring dogs places where it is definitely not appropriate to bring dogs.
Speaking of children, that just reminds me of... I left a random comment on a Instagram post today, and I don't even remember who posted, like the Chive or something. And it was someone, bullshit story. They had the picture was just them holding a bag with chocolate in it, and it had a receipt. And it was like, this kid was yelling at his mom and called her a bitch because she wouldn't get him the bigger bars So she said, "Okay, we'll get you a bigger one." And I got up front and I bought all of them and to get back at the kid or something. And I looked in the bag and it was all Hershey's Special Dark. I said, "I don't eat. You got the wrong chocolate or something." So you got the wrong chocolate. No kid wants dark chocolate.
And Hershey's as well.
I said, "What kind of kid wants dark chocolate?" And then some lady actually posted back, "Some kid that is." Oh fuck, dude! What did she say? I'm just gonna look it up really quick. Because what kind of kid is going to get dark chocolate? I don't even like dark chocolate now.
Yeah, there's always those...
Plain dark chocolate, it's got to be mixed with something.
There's always those people on the internet where they're like, well, did you think about this?
Yeah, it's like, I was fucking kidding, lady. Oh, here we go. So yeah, I said, you bought the wrong ones. What kind of kid wants dark chocolate? Harmless. 32 likes. How about that? She said, at Sam Powell. The kind of kid, or the kind that calls their mom a bitch. It makes me feel bad for the mom because that's learned behavior, and this tells me the kid has learned that it's okay to disrespect his mother, and the mother has been treated so badly for so long that she allows it. I said, well, it makes sense the kid is a demon if he prefers dark chocolate. I'm not going to entertain this fucking social justice warrior around
Yeah, but
here.
why is this lady out here feeling bad for the mother? She has clearly created a situation where she allows her child
I feel bad for the mom.
to speak
It's
to her
her
that
fault.
way. It really is.
All these kids want just discipline your kids, and they won't.
If so,
The kids started freaking out and be like, "I'm not getting you any chocolate,
you
I'm not getting you any chocolate, kid."
when I would act out in the grocery store, my mom would do that thing where she'd dig her nails into my arm and do the mom clenched teeth yelling. Like,
Yeah.
I swear to God,
Oh
when I
yeah,
get back to the car.
not even yelling. It was like calm talking.
Yeah.
That's scary. Just get a grab on the arm.
Yeah.
If you don't calm down, like, oh, I'm going to calm down now.
That is mom language for, I don't want to beat your ass in front of all these people, but I'm not above it.
Yeah. I would always try and go, I feel like I wasn't that way because I was just a better kid than most kids.
If I called
I went to the grocery store with my mom, I would just like, instead of asking her for a candy, be like, I know in the bakery that they just have that box of cookies behind the counter. The kids are like, the kid asks for a cookie and the baker gives him one. And like the bakers are never back there. So I'd go grocery shopping with my mom, go back there, open that bitch, grab like 3 cookies, go walk around and eat those. Go find my mom wherever she is. Can I get this?
Grocery
No.
store grazing.
Yeah. Can I get this? No. All right, I'm going to go eat some more cookies then.
Yeah, no was the standard answer when I asked if we could get stuff. If she said yes, I would have been more surprised.
Yeah, I would, it's like my mom wasn't, she'd get me stuff, but like, not name brand. It's like, and that's all I wanted when I was a kid. Give me Fruit by the Foot or something. You're like, no, we'll get you like the Safeway brand Scooby-Doo snacks or fruit snacks, which were really better. Except for now. I got them recently. They're not as good. They switched it up. Anyone out there that knows what I'm talking about that's deep in the fruit snack game.
Well, there are like the 2 different kinds of fruit snacks. There's the ones that are like a kind of clearish gel,
And
and
the
then
other ones, they're like
and then
solid
the
color.
Scooby-Doo ones used to be like the solid color.
And now they're the see-through ones. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying they suck now.
Wonder what that is.
I don't know, because the best kind aren't like the Scooby-Doo ones that were like, I don't know what you want to call them, not see-through. They were like solid, like that blue one, light blue.
Yeah, there was like light blue and purple and orange.
And those were good, and the clear Scooby-Doo snacks suck. But now, but it's always been like the clear stuff is what they used to make the best stuff. Gushers and Fruit by the Foot and Fruit Roll-Ups. And since my mom never got me that name brand stuff, guess what I have chilling in my room at home right now, next to my bed, like a real boss. I have Gushers.
Name brand.
Yeah, name brand.
Name brand.
Not Squishers or any other kind of weird knockoff brand. No more Dr. Dynamite. I'm drinking Dr. Pepper. No, what are some other? No more Dr. I saw a whole knockoff list of them before. It was so funny. Dr. Dynamite, Dr. Ditto, just anything they can. Just put Doctor in there. People will know.
Yeah, that's what they do with the knockoff Dr. Pepper.
And same with like Mountain Dew. Just put Mountain in there somewhere. Mountain Breeze, Mountain Mist, Mountain Shit,
Mountain shit.
Mountain Shit.
So my dad was just down here giving us a hard time.
Lighting foam on fire.
He lit the foam on fire. We've got some soundproofing foam put up off camera. And he texted me the other day, out of the blue. We're not talking about anything. Just text me while I was at work. He says, "Is that foam you got fireproof?"
And I laughed when I heard that because instantly, not knowing anything about foam, as you said, what did he say to me earlier? What are you, the something on foam? Are you some old guy word I've never even heard before?
Yeah, I don't.
Maven.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you, a maven for foam? I said, are you a maven for foam? Whatever that means.
I don't know what that meant either.
Because he said, oh, there's some out there that's fireproof. I went, I don't think so.
The good stuff's fireproof.
I've never heard of foam that can't catch on fire. It's foam.
Maybe there's a kind of insulation they put in between houses that's foam that stops the spread of fires.
It's not soundproof foam.
We're not using that for soundproofing.
We ain't gonna use some insulation.
Let's get some asbestos and nail it to the wall.
Are you a maven for foam?
A maven.
Whatever. I don't even know what that means. Expert of some kind.
I don't think it means that.
Maybe he's wrong.
If I had to guess what maven meant, I would think it's kind of like an old lady or something.
I'm pretty sure there used to be a wrestler named Maven when I was a kid. Maybe I'm wrong.
You know what?
He's right.
Yes. A maven is an expert or a connoisseur.
Oh, so I was right in my guess, too. I mean, whatever. I got a new word to use now.
Is there an alternate meaning?
I'm definitely going to use that from now on, though.
It's of Yiddish origin.
Not surprising at all anymore.
Yeah.
That would not be the first time I've heard him use some old weird Yiddish word.
Claire thought it was really funny when she heard him use the word shtup.
Yeah. All the old Yiddish words are very funny.
And then
lots of insults too.
Well, and then one time we were in downtown Seattle and I just, started, here's another Yiddish word. I started kvetching, which is just to complain.
Oh. Okay.
I started complaining. I said, "Oh, God damn it. Now I'm going to be schlepping around the block for half an hour looking for parking." And she started laughing. She said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Schlepping around the block looking for parking."
Yeah. Oh, it's funny, man. I like what are some of the insults? You schlemiel?
Yeah, well, Larry David is the classic example of a schlemiel. A schlemiel is a rude,
so funny word.
It's like a rude, unlucky man who is usually bald.
So, Curb Your Enthusiasm could just be called schlemiel.
Yes, Larry David has been called the last of the schlemiels, or the king of the schlemiels.
I would say he's the king.
Oh, it's a bald, unlucky man who complains a lot.
Oh, so he's bald too.
Who complains a lot.
That just is him. Example, and it shows Larry David.
Yeah, schlemiel's an insult. Schmuck is a classic. That's
everyone knows schmuck.
That's spread outside of Yiddish. That's spread into general term. But when I hear people use the word schmuck, I get a little defensive. I'm like, that's our word.
Oh.
Yeah.
The S word.
Yeah.
Okay. What about other Yiddish words? You don't, because no one ever says them.
Yeah, if someone... One time I heard a lady who definitely wasn't Jewish say oy vey.
And you went off?
I was just like, what?
You sprouted the "may I speak to your manager" haircut and went off on her? The hair just went down and covered over your ear?
I just file it back here. I say, okay, that's what's going on. All right.
You're going to save that for the race war that's coming?
Saving it in the file.
The Jews would have, I guess, a pretty good shot. They got a lot of money. But does that count as a race? Or do the Jews get split up? Determining if you were born here? Like if are you on in the race war, are you on the white guy's side? Or are you on is there a Jewish side? Well, or the Jews just going with the whites, and then the dark-skinned Jews go with
the alt,
whatever group they fit in.
The farthest
black Jews,
the farthest alt right,
Jews.
the neo, when you're getting from alt right into neo-Nazi. Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess then you go like,
Those people,
I don't want to be on those guys' team.
the white
I'm
power.
white.
See, the white power people hate the Jews. That's
Yeah,
like
you're
one of
right.
their number one.
Shit, I'm going with the Jews. I don't want to hang out
Adversaries.
with the guys. If it's a race war, I probably don't want to be on the white side. Those guys are jerks, and then even if they won, they would find problems with me because they're probably like, you wear like Jordans and stuff. They probably have problems with that. No, you have to wear stupid work boots. Always work boots. Or New Balances once you hit that age. Once you hit that age, you could be like an alt-right guy that, bald wearing the combat boots. But once you hit, let's say, 50, you can grow out that white hair and you get some dad New Balances.
See, here's the thing: is that neo-Nazis aren't dressing like punk anymore. They're not shaving their
Yeah.
heads and getting a bunch of
Preppy
tattoos.
boat shoes,
Yeah,
and cargo
Boat
shorts.
shoes and khaki pants and white polos and
Yeah, see, so they're gonna be
Kirby
like,
Smart haircuts.
Yeah,
Any haircut that an SEC coach also has. I'm a little skeptical of you.
yeah. I've also thought of something that probably I'm guessing a lot of those far right guys haven't thought of. They're like, let's get rid of anyone that's not white, kick them out of the country, or whatever they want to do. I'm not quite sure. Do they want whatever they want to do?
Yeah, they
If
see
you got
they
rid of
want
all
America.
the black
They want
people-
America to be a white Christian
If you got rid
paradise.
of all the black people, all the Hispanics, and all that Asian everything, sports would suck.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it'd be so boring. Just a bunch of white people playing each other. I might have a shot though.
Yeah.
I might have a shot to get to the league finally.
you
But
know?
also, no. Come on, watching the NBA with all white guys, so boring.
Look at the fundamentals.
Yeah, a lot of hard workers out there.
This guy's got hustle.
Yeah, hustle, grit, all the.
He's got a high basketball IQ. He's.
I mean, all sports would suffer. Man,
Definitely.
football would suck. The one that would be least affected would be baseball,
Yeah.
but then that would still suck.
yeah.
Because the only guys that like to have fun in baseball are the Latin players.
Well, yeah. Baseball is still predominantly white. I think it's at least like 60% white.
But those are the ones
this
that
point.
complain about the unwritten rules. So stupid.
But if you look at the All-Star team, you got Manny Machado.
yeah, all of a sudden there's no,
You got Nolan Arenado.
not a lot of white boys on there anymore.
Yeah. Fuck, who else? Who was in the home run derby? It was Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Vlad Jr. Against white guy. Against white guy won, but white guy hit 30 less home runs on the night.
It's
He hit
crazy.
61 and Vlad Jr. hit 91 home runs in one night in a home run derby.
Vlad Jr.
It was like the record before was like Josh Hamilton hit 28 or something in one round, and that was the record. And then Vlad Jr. broke it 2 times. He got 29 and then 29 again.
He doesn't look that much like Vladimir Guerrero.
Now he looks like a little fat kid.
Yeah, he looks more
But
like
that's-
Prince
he
Fielder.
Can hit like a motherfucker, man.
He hits like Prince Fielder.
Yeah. Poor Prince Fielder.
Yeah,
I
man,
feel
that
bad
was.
for him.
that was-
I just saw when we were playing the Brewers earlier, they were talking about they're like having a night to honor him this year and stuff.
They should. He
Which
was
is good.
He was a really fun
And
player
had
to watch.
totally had to retire because of injury completely. It's all his
There's back
spine.
and neck issues.
Straight
I
up,
think.
like if you play like out of nowhere, you could just like something could happen and you could be
I mean,
kind of immobilized.
you look at the force that he swung the bat with. Just the torque that puts on your spine.
All that weight and strength,
Exactly. Yeah.
and you torque your body into that.
Yeah.
That's why you can hit it 500 feet.
Yeah.
But the craziest thing ever about his career is that he ended with the same exact amount of home runs as his dad.
I wonder.
That is crazy.
I wonder if they ever repaired their relationship.
Were they?
Yeah, they weren't speaking.
I didn't even know that.
When Prince Fielder was at the height of his success,
He wasn't talking to Cecil.
some reporter asked him like, "Oh, how often do you talk to your dad?" And like ask him, do you ever ask your dad for advice? He's just like, "Me and my dad don't speak," and that was just the end of that.
What? I wonder what happened. Because you see that he was in his life.
Well, the
you see the home run derby.
Yeah,
with
the
Cecil
home run
Fielder.
derby that Cecil Fielder
Prince
competed
Fielder
in.
was there.
If you look at the highlights of that on YouTube,
You see little fat boy.
little Prince Fielder sitting in the
Oh,
dugout.
yeah, that's right. We were watching that.
And I said, "Holy shit, is that Prince Fielder?"
Yeah, because I think was No, it would have been earlier than that, right? Griffey wouldn't have been in that home run derby.
Yeah,
It was like early 90s.
Cecil Fielder played in like the late 70s.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, what? He wasn't in that because that video we saw. I don't think that home run derby was. When did his career end? Because I thought I was watching those highlights because Griffey was in it.
Cecil Fielder. Oh, come on. Show me your playing career. Debut, July 20th, 1985.
Oh.
So, yeah, he probably if he played 10 years, he would have played in 95.
I was right then. So he probably was in the Derby in 93 or whatever.
Oh, shit. Cecil Fielder retired in 1998.
Oh, wow. Wow. I guess we're just old, and that's still quite a while before Prince Fielder made his debut.
Prince Fielder probably came onto the scene in like 05, I think.
Yeah, it's a solid 7 years later. Maybe even earlier than that, actually.
Okay, so Cecil Fielder was born in 63. Prince Fielder. Yeah, 05 to 2016 was his last year. And he was born in 84. So Cecil Fielder was 21 when Prince Fielder was born.
Okay. Pretty young. I just saw this the other day on SportsCenter. I guess the MLB is testing out rules in like this weird whatever league. It's like
some independent league.
Pacific Coast Winter Short Ball or some stupid shit like that.
Yeah, it's
and I saw a video
Appalachian
of the
League or
the
something.
guy stealing first. And clearly, I don't think that's something that's ever going to make.
Well, how does that? Well, you can already.
I think it was on a passed ball, but it wasn't like
you can already steal first on a drop third strike.
But it wasn't that. It was. I think they just said. I don't remember what it was, but it was just bizarre to see because it wasn't that situation where it was a drop third strike.
Honestly, if you could steal first on a pass ball, pass balls don't happen that often.
But that's still never going to happen in the MLB. Too much complaints. Unless a bunch of old white dudes die pretty soon. Honestly, I think that's what's holding back sports and like everything.
Just the generation that hasn't died yet.
Yeah.
Play the game the right way.
Yeah. So
act like you've been there before.
Who cares? Maybe he hasn't been there before. Maybe it's a young guy scoring for the first time or something. Let him have fun. Who cares? Like, if all these owners would have died and someone would have took over for them in the NFL, Kaepernick would probably still have a job. It was a younger generation that moved in that was maybe, I don't know. You still got to be like a billionaire.
The youngest
There's
NFL.
not a lot of young.
The youngest NFL owner's got to be in the 50s.
Maybe even, I don't know, man. Maybe even older.
How old's Dan Quinn?
No, shit, you're right. He's probably in his 60s.
You think so?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck
He
that
deserves the F-bomb. Why not just change the name?
By the way, I can...
It's a racial slur.
I can tell you firsthand that their stadium in Andover, Maryland is the worst stadium in the NFL.
Worst stadium.
32 out of 32.
Just shitty ownership.
The whole stadium smells like trash. And nobody comes to the game, so they tarp off a lot of the upper deck.
Yeah, at least we have the decency to not tarp it off. If you want to get drunk and go up there and get on TV, that's for you.
Seahawks games are games are full though.
I'm talking Safeco. Sorry, the Seahawks sell out literally every single game. Even when we weren't that good, we were pretty much selling out. Because whenever I'd get the free tickets when we were shitty, it was still like you're sitting in row double, S or whatever, way the fuck up there.
Yeah.
And like it's still packed even though our team wasn't that good just because there's only 8 games. Mariners, we're shitty. We have the longest playoff drought, and there's 81 home games a year. So there's going to be like 0 sellouts. Maybe if we were good, there would be some sellouts when good teams come in. But if you want right now at the Mariners game at T-Mobile Park, then you can get shit-faced, go up into the 300 level and right, and then you'll definitely get on the board. You're the only guy up there. Camera guy's bored watching a fucking 12-3 blowout. We're getting killed by someone we're supposed to kill, probably. The Marlins or They don't come here enough. Who sucks?
I haven't been
The
paying
Angels.
attention.
Our own division, except for they have God on their team. So, did you see all that stuff about how they threw that combined no hitter and like the weird numbers behind it with the guy that died?
Yeah.
That's pretty bizarre, man. Like, some of them is like, I see you might be reaching a little because Mike Trout was like, well, we scored 7 runs in the first inning, 13 overall, which, of course, it was against the Mariners, by the way. And he was like, his birthday was July 13th, 7/13. He's like, oh, that's crazy. It's like, that one is, I guess, I don't know, you're kind of reaching, finding ways to connect it.
Yeah.
But then the other one that I thought actually was really crazy was the last time there was a combined no-hitter in the state of California was on Tyler Skaggs' birthday when he died, or the guy that died. So the last combined no-hitter was on the day he was born, whatever, July 13th, 91, I think it was.
Combined no-hitters are weird.
Very weird. And baseball's doing some weird shit. The Mariners are doing it too. So what happened was the guy that got the win for the game, or no, I guess the first guy got the win if they scored 7 runs in the first. But anyways, some guy came in and I think pitched the first 2 innings.
They're calling it an opener.
Yeah, he pitched just the first 2 innings, and then some other guy pitched the last 7.
That's really weird.
So bizarre. The Mariners have been doing it too, though. I seen when
I guess if your rotation is shaky and you're planning on doing like a bullpen start anyway.
Everything's shaky for the Mariners.
Yeah.
Everything is bad.
I mean,
we can hit, and that is all we can do, and we can't even do that all the time.
We
hit home runs.
I don't know how I feel about the opener, and I don't know if that's just me being like an old guy.
Now
about
you're being the old white guy.
I don't know if I'm being an old white guy on this one.
I think you are being an old white guy on this one. I think so fucking what, man? Do it however you want. I think it still makes more sense to me if you have all the resources
to be a starting
the good
pitcher.
Teams aren't doing it.
To be a starting pitcher was something.
Yeah.
And there was great starters and there was great relievers. And I guess it's just going to be great pitchers. We're not really going to talk about, I don't know, great starts.
Yeah, I mean, we still will. I think it's not going to be something that takes over baseball. I think just shitty teams are going to do it. Like you said, people that don't have the resources, that have they don't have 5 starters, and they got a shaky bullpen.
Yeah.
Because you don't see good teams doing this. Granted, I haven't been watching that many baseball games this year because the Mariners suck, and I pretty much only watched just the Mariners and playoffs.
Yeah, if you've got 5 really good starters, you put them out there and you let them do their thing.
They do their 6 to 7 to 8 innings, and then you send in your closer. The Red Sox aren't doing that and shit, which maybe they are. I don't watch Red Sox games. I just don't. Only watch Mariners and playoffs, and those never mix together, unfortunately for me. Those are never one and the same. Mariners and playoffs. Never Mariners playoffs game.
Yep.
Maybe one day. I'm honestly pretty hopeful for the future. We got a couple guys that are supposed to be part of the future that are already up and doing good. So that J.P. Crawford, that's who we got to replace Segura from the Phillies. He was a good prospect in their organization. He's been doing pretty good.
Is he?
And then apparently our Double-A team is fucking stacked.
Is he, as Theo Vaughn would say, an urban gentleman?
Who are we talking about?
J.P. Crawford.
J.P. Crawford is an urban gentleman, which I'm so for, dude. As many black dudes we can get on our team, go for it. I miss the American black player in baseball because those are some of my favorite players ever. I don't know why.
Ken Griffey Jr. That's why. Ken Griffey Jr. is why.
But then it's like I liked other black players too. So it's like Barry Bonds and Kenny Lofton.
Even like Torrey Hunter.
Torrey Hunter was awesome.
Torrey Hunter had a really long career.
He played for like 80 years.
Keith Olbermann would do jokes about guys like him and Raul Ibanez. Like, you know how old Raul Ibanez is? He's 206.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking Mike Cameron, dude.
Oh, man. What a gentleman and a scholar.
Oh, my God.
I met Mike Cameron one time at like FanFest. He was the nicest guy.
I bet.
Signing autographs for days.
Because he was embraced by the city.
Yeah.
No Griffey. No problem, apparently. Let Griffey go to Cincy and get hurt all he wants.
Yeah.
I still love you. I'm sorry.
So, do you think that Ken Griffey Jr. would have stayed healthy if he'd stayed here, or do you think we sold high on him?
I think we got lucky. I still wish he wouldn't have left, though.
Well, we got a lot.
Because you can't
lot for
say
him.
he would or wouldn't have got hurt. Who knows? But, man, I don't know. If he would have stayed around, maybe A-Rod stays too, which I hate him more than any sports person ever, except for Clay Bennett. And I still wish wish he would have stayed.
If A-Rod won us a World Series, I would be defending him to the death.
Exactly. If he never would have left the Mariners, and even if he just didn't win a World Series but didn't leave us and did good, like, I'd probably be defending him all day. No. He's just an idiot. He didn't take steroids. He's just dumb. He doesn't need to be smart. He can hit a baseball.
Yeah.
He's just tripping over his own mouth pretty much right now. Saying he didn't take steroids. He did, whatever.
His brother is Alex Rodriguez's brother, Victor, is he's like a very senior CIA official.
No shit, huh?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
He started out.
So he covered his tracks forever, huh?
Victor Rodriguez started out in Air Force Intelligence, and then.
Does he know about aliens in Area 51?
Who the fuck knows, man? I mean, if anyone does.
It's Alex Rodriguez's brother.
Yeah, but apparently they didn't grow up together because Alex Rodriguez's dad left when he was really little. Huh. That's why he's so needy and desperate for attention.
That's why he has no loyalty.
That's why he has no loyalty.
That asshole, man.
And but
oh God, I hate him so much.
His brother was like 12 years older and like lived with his dad.
We don't need him, man. We got fucking Carlos Guillen out here slanging with tuberculosis or whatever he is.
Carlos Guillen hit like 326 with tuberculosis.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. Coughing up blood in the clubhouse.
And still raking.
Yeah, and his teammates were like, he's probably fine.
He'll be okay. It's Carlos.
We all cough up blood now and then. It's baseball.
Come on. He got hit in the ribs with like 7 or 8 Randy Johnson fastballs. Of course he coughs up blood.
See, even guys on that team like Al Martin.
Al Green?
Al Martin and Ruben Sierra would split time in left field. I remember
Ruben Sierra.
Mark McLemore was out there killing it.
I remember Mark McLemore. Good old David Bell over at third.
See, all the Mariners' early superstars were all black.
Yeah, man.
Harold Reynolds, Alvin Davis, Ken Griffey Jr.
That's a good point. Arthur Rhodes.
Arthur Rhodes.
Oh, that was so cool when we got
we were like, hey, Omar Vizquel can go fuck himself.
And he was like, yes, he can. Because, of course, he still had, was it an earring or a chain?
It was the earring because he had a huge diamond earring.
He always rocked that super fat diamond.
He's another guy who came over in the Ken Griffey Jr. trade.
Did he?
Yeah.
Cool.
It was Arthur Rhodes, Mike Cameron, and Brett Boone. And I think maybe a couple other guys, too.
And we got them all from the Reds?
Yeah.
There was no third team in the trade?
All those guys, those 3 guys came straight from the Reds.
Cameron, Boone, and Arthur Rhodes?
Yeah.
And then... That's weird because he went back then, right? Because I think the game we did that, he was on the Reds.
Yeah, maybe.
As I remember in warming up, we were sitting in the left field bleachers, and he was standing there throwing, "Hey, Arthur, Omar Vizquel's a punk." He's like, I think he gave us like a little hat nod.
Because he fucking remembers.
Of course he remembers every day. Every time he sees an earring, he's probably just like, "Oh, the motherfucker, Omar Vizquel."
It's probably a fun story to tell for him now.
And that just made me not like Omar Vizquel, and I used to like him. It's not like I didn't like him because of it, but it made me like, what? That's weak.
I think I more didn't like him
he used to be on our team
because he was part of that Indians team that came back on the Mariners.
Ah, good point.
Came back from 14.
I don't have many teams that I hate because the Mariners. I only hate them if they fucked over the Mariners.
The Indians have fucked over the Mariners on more than one occasion.
So they had the comeback in 01 that made us not get 117.
The Mariners knocked us out of the playoffs in 95 after we beat the Yankees.
The Indians.
The Indians.
Yes. And then the Braves beat them, right, in the World Series?
Yeah.
We saw that trophy when we were there.
Mm-hmm.
But, our only good years as Mariners, 95 and 01. Those are the 2 years we have to look to. We've only made the playoffs, like 3 or 4 times?
Yeah.
And those were the 2 chances where we actually had a really good team. And yeah, so they knocked after we beat the Yankees in 95, the Indians knocked us out of the playoffs. And in 01, even though 162 game season, you can point to, 46 other games that we lost.
And we lost our last 2 as well in a row.
That one where we took out
That
all
one,
of our
yeah.
starters because we were winning by 10 or whatever.
14. It was like 14. It was like, I think it was 14-1.
And they come back and win. That's the one I point to. And that's a baseball rule I hate.
That you can't put your players back in?
Yes. I think as long as you're not, they got to make if they fine-tuned it where you weren't abusing it.
Yeah.
Like where you say, well, I'm subbing this guy to hit and then I'm putting him back in the field.
Maybe like everybody can come back into the game once, but that's it.
You can come back in once and the other guy has to at least have hit or something like that, played the field and hit.
So like if they call in...
Because, we would have not lost if it was like, oh, shit, bring back in Ichiro and Brett Boone and Carlos Guillen and John Olerud and David Bell and Mike Cameron and whoever.
John Olerud was the one crucial player because they replaced him at first base with Ed Sprague. Mm-hmm. And there was like a bases clearing triple that I think Omar Vizquel actually hit. That it was just it was a sharply hit ground ball down the first base line. Sprague dove, but he wasn't a lanky fuck like John Olerud was.
And also just wasn't.
And I think he was
best defensive first baseman.
Yeah.
John
Olerud was the best defensive first baseman.
Nasty with that glove, dude.
Yeah. He was...
that 01 team was just stacked. We were like half of the All-Star team.
See, he was nasty with Olerud was nasty with the glove, and he hit cleanup.
Yeah. Good two-way. I just was seeing him on highlights today. I don't even remember what they were talking about. They were showing highlights for some reason of... I was watching the Deion Sanders 30 for 30, which if you haven't watched is really good. It's all about... It is about his whole career, but it's mostly about the one...
A couple of years ago, I saw Deion Sanders call a 16-year-old kid the N-word.
In a negative way? Or an embracing way?
Okay, so the context was it was at the Under Armour All-American game in Orlando, Florida. This was like 2017, and because the Under Armour game is like on New Year's Day, I think. It was like 2017, 2018. Mm-hmm. And it was just Deion Sanders was out there as like a celebrity coach running drills with the kids. Yeah. And he was just getting fired up. That's all it was. He was fired up. He was getting the kids fired up. They were into it. That kid didn't walk away like Deion Sanders.
Yeah. He's a very,
He was probably like, "Oh my God, Deion Sanders spoke to me."
He's a very flamboyant personality too. He's going to be yelling, he's going to be dancing.
Yeah.
He
and for a celebrity coach to come in there and actually like run drills with these kids, not just be like, "Oh, I'm here, the cameras see me out here. Now I'm going to fuck off."
Yeah. They were showing highlights of the Braves in 92 in the World Series.
Another Deion Sanders.
And John Olerud was playing first for the Blue Jays.
Yes, yeah.
It was just weird seeing him. He still had he was younger, 10 years younger. He still had the helmet on at first. Did he have that his whole career?
His whole career.
Okay.
I guess he had some kind of, maybe in the minors, he was hit in the head with a ball, and a doctor told him that if he got hit in the head again, he could die.
Oh, so he's like, instead of being like, wow, no more baseball, he's like, I'll just wear a helmet all the time.
Just like half a helmet. It was like
the helmet that you...
Hold on.
That, like,
no, we've got one.
I was going to say, it's like the helmet that little kids get because you still have one. There's a Boston one right there. Of course, there's a Boston one there. I was seeing if we had a Mariners one. You traitor. Yeah, there you go. Now you're looking like John Olerud. Yeah. Do you feel like that would protect you from a baseball?
It was really thin like this, too.
But I'm sure his
probably had some kind of padding on the inside.
Instead of just some brown plastic that's inside of that one.
Yeah. That pinches your hair.
Yeah. I'll take out a couple pieces of hair, but I'm all right.
And these parts were always sharp. The part where the brown part was fitted in here.
But yeah, it was just weird seeing him when he's younger. They didn't really show his face, but just seeing him out there.
But he was very skinny.
Since that was something that happened when I was one year old. It's not like I remember that. So it's cool watching that, him trying to do that. And I didn't realize how much controversy was around that decision back then because that was It was about him. It was called Dion's Double Play, and it was about him playing in whatever game 2 of the. It would be NLCS, I guess, because he's on the Braves. Then and that was in Pittsburgh against Pittsburgh. Then flying to Miami to play a game against the Dolphins when he's with the Falcons.
Like the next.
Yeah, so he
the next
played.
day?
He played on the 10th or whatever in game 2. Then game 3, then the Dolphins game was next day, and game 3 was later that night. So he played in the game 2, flew and played in Miami, flew back to Pittsburgh and didn't play that night. But he didn't play because management was very upset at him for playing in the football game because they were trying to get into the World Series. And they still did get in the World Series. And then in the World Series that they lost, Deion Sanders hit over 500.
That's crazy.
He was going to win MVP, and that's what he said. That brings up the flamboyant personality, dancing, and all that, was he said, because his big thing was with like the GM and this one reporter that called games for them, some reporter that used to play and caught for Bob Gibson and stuff. And he was very critical of him on air and like kind of not telling really the truth, making him look way worse than...
Was it
He
Don
was.
Don Sutton?
No.
Okay, because Don Sutton.
I think it was Ted something.
Don Sutton was a longtime Braves broadcaster. He was a pitcher though.
But he had like over 500 in that World Series. They lost though, but he was saying he wanted to win so bad, so because he would have got MVP, and he's like, man, if I got MVP and the GM had to hand me, he's like, I would have crip walked across that stage. He's like, I would have been my happiest moment just after all this shit. He would have been able to rub it in his face. But they lost. But dude, he had over 500 in the World Series. It's crazy. Man.
What happened to Maddox? What happened to Tom Glavine?
I think neither of them were in the documentary. Some people turned down getting interviewed. I think a lot of people didn't really like what he was doing. Obviously, if you're on the Braves, you got to understand. I would probably be the same way if I was his teammate. Like, dude, we're playing to get to the World Series. You're a starting center fielder, and you hit like first or second.
And you're gonna go fly to Miami to play for the fucking Falcons?
Yeah,
like
for the Falcons.
I don't think they weren't really in contention during those years.
I don't think he won shit with the Falcons, and the Falcons were totally behind him. They were like, yeah, man. They were like, you can do what, and even they showed an interview with the Falcons coach. They asked him like, hey man, what's the sign for steal? And he just started doing a bunch of little baseball things. So it's like they were having fun with it. They're like, yeah, dude, play. Then you can show up at game time. You can fly back and play with them. But that's because they weren't playing for anything.
So a friend of mine,
and also it's in October. It's like at the very start.
Of football season. It's the middle of football.
So
season.
then he left Atlanta and won a couple.
So a friend
Super
of mine
Bowls.
back in Atlanta just got a job with the Falcons.
Yeah.
And he was asking me, he's like, you think they're going to run a background check on me? Because I guess he was telling me he had a reckless driving charge from doing like 112 and a 60 or some dumb shit like that.
Nice.
But he was like, yo, you think that's going to like fuck up this job offer for me? And I said, this is the Atlanta Falcons we're talking about.
Come on, dude.
Any kind of misconduct that comes up on your record, you can point to a number of instances in the past.
Yeah.
This organization is no stranger to controversy.
Yeah.
I think your speeding ticket's not going to prevent you from working for this organization.
Are you going to be driving the players around? Like, no. You're not going to care about that. Are you going to valet outside the stadium? Like, you're going to be all right, dude.
Yeah. No, it's not an organization who can afford to.
I don't think the NFL in general can say anything about what's on someone's criminal record
they
get hired.
Yeah, I mean, but they don't really. I guess they did run a background check on him. They're just looking for felonies and shit like that.
Yeah.
They're not
looking for a speeding ticket.
That's not even a misdemeanor.
They're looking for,
did
you kill someone? Are you a drug dealer?
That's a civil infraction.
Yeah. Were you dishing out steroids to people illegally?
Yeah.
If not, then you're okay.
Yeah.
And actually, probably if you're doing those steroids illegally, they'd want you. You know how to do that on the Hush Hush, man? You know how to get us past that?
Yeah. Good old Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, that's... I would have liked to go to their new stadium, but it wasn't ready when I got there.
Oh, that stadium is really sick.
Yeah, just awesome.
I've never been in the stands part. I've only been down on the field, but it's really cool looking. Although the roof does leak a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's a weird looking structure, so
Yeah.
it's all very angled.
It looks like a iris of a camera.
Yeah, it seems like there would be opportunity for it to leak. Like there's a lot of pieces of that roof.
Yeah, I was shooting the college football national championship, and I just like felt a drip on my head. Like the roof is closed.
Isn't this like supposed to be like the first year?
Isn't it? Yeah, it was the first year of the stadium, and it was like the flashiest and nicest stadium.
And
I guess I've never been to Jerry World, so I can't.
The biggest game that's going to be in that stadium for the foreseeable future.
Oh yeah. One of my favorite stadiums is Indianapolis. They really, really have a cool stadium.
I don't think I haven't been to any other football stadiums, I don't think.
The city of Indianapolis is shockingly Caucasian.
Just the Seahawks. But then basketball, I've been to the Key Arena and whatever Portland's is called nowadays. The Modo Center or some stupid shit like that. It's not the Rose Garden. But I think that's what it used to be called. But baseball, I've been to quite a few, I think. Well, when you're talking about 30 teams, I've been to a healthy portion for someone that hasn't been to too many places. Because I've been to Seattle, Arizona, San Francisco, Minnesota. I think that's it. But still, 4?
I just been to Seattle and the two New York stadiums.
This guy bought a Yankees hat. Can you?
Because I didn't want to get beat up.
Can you fucking believe that one?
Did you see the?
First off.
Hold on. Did you see the clip of the guy in the A's jersey who got beer thrown on him?
Yeah, man. Just don't wear
multiple
anything.
times.
I'm
got
not
beer
telling you
thrown
to wear
on him.
another team's gear. Just wear a goddamn sweatshirt there. Go put on some other hat, man. I don't know. Just don't spend money on Yankees gear. That's like how I was saying. There's only a couple teams I hate. One of them's the Indians. The other one is the Yankees. Because the Yankees knocked us out.
There's a difference between which team you root for,
but also,
and
aren't you supposed to be like having some allegiance to the Red Sox?
You got to consider your safety. And by the way, Bill Burr is known to wear a Yankees hat.
Ugh. Goddamn.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Well, Bill Burr's famous. He can do what he wants. You're not famous.
I'm saying he's like the most Boston identified guy out there.
Man, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Who's the most Boston guy?
Just saying, dude.
In show business.
I will never, ever buy a Yankees hat or even put one on my head.
You know, Sam, when you have your safety to consider,
unless someone offers me $5, then I will put one on my head because I'll eat marbles for that kind of money. But no, I don't. I think if I was going to a Yankees game, which I'll go visit Paul eventually if he's living. Stu actually was just telling me I should go with him in August. I think I might do that. But if I go to a Yankees game with Paul or something, no fucking way, dude. I'm not buying a hat.
See, that was a playoff game, though.
I will go hatless.
That was a playoff game.
Your first playoff game was a Yankees game?
Actually, yes.
You are disgusting.
The only baseball game, playoff game I've ever been to is a Yankees game.
That's gross.
I've been to Seahawks playoff games.
Hey, man, I have. I don't think I've ever been to a playoff game. Yeah, I've never been to a Seahawks playoff. Obviously, I haven't been to a fucking Mariners playoff game. Closest I came was that game we went to, the Mariners game that was pretty much the playoffs, that it was last game of the season.
And we had to win, and the A's had to lose, and
the A's won when our game was in the 6th. So
yeah.
Then they took Felix out.
Yeah.
And also one of our last times seeing a Felix that was good at baseball.
Yeah.
Sad.
Very sad.
Miss that guy. It's just been so sad to watch his career go down the toilet.
Well, we had a big part in that.
No, I don't think so. What did we do?
Squandered his prime like we did with Ichiro.
Okay, well, no. I mean, that's not what I meant by like his career going down the toilet. Because, yes, that is our fault.
And also, he was starting for us when he was fucking 19.
We got people as bad signings by our team, and the draft picks didn't work out. But what I meant was how his career has just gone downhill so fast. It was like 2016, he was one of the best pitchers, and then within 2 years, it's like, we're going to cut him?
You see, maybe he'll reinvent himself as a knuckleballer.
Nope.
As a knuckleballer.
That's why I'm so disappointed in him, is he refuses to change. He still thinks that he can go out there and overpower people and throw 96 on a fastball with all this nasty breaking pitches. You can't, dude. You're just not that good anymore. You need to talk to CC Sabathia and all these people and figure out, hey, how do you still pitch for another 6 or 7 years when you can't throw as hard? Because he just refuses to change. The coaches are trying to get in there with him, change his mechanics and everything, and he's just not receptive to it, and it just still thinks, oh, just next start, I'm going to, recover. And you just aren't, man. It's just over. It makes me sad.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Not my chair, not my problem.
That's what I say.
Who knows? Maybe he'll have some resurgence. It's not going to be with us, though. This is the last year on his contract. He's gone. No way we're re-signing him. Someone will sign him, though, to some kind of contract. Still Felix. You know what's going to suck? Is when it's going to be Houston that signs him. And
then he gets good again.
And then he gets good again because there's something funky going on in Houston with their spin rate.
Spin rate?
I've heard of this. I haven't looked into it. I've just heard of it. It's, someone was bringing it up, like, just look at, it was another player, too, I think, said, look at, like, any pitcher that goes to Houston and look at their spin rate, like, on their balls before they get there and after they get there. Insinuating that he thinks they're doctoring the balls in some way.
But the team doesn't have control of the balls. The umpires have.
And they could be doctoring, they're putting something on their fucking hand or something.
But is it happening to away pitchers? Or is it just happening to home team pitchers?
I think it's just happening for Houston's pitchers.
Well, then
the main guy was
these guys get traded all the time.
The main guy was talking, or he was talking about, I think, was Verlander.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing about Verlander saying that too. That he insinuated that they were doctoring the balls.
Yeah, no, that's what I've heard too. This is a couple years ago that I heard the person talking about the spin rate in Houston. Though he's saying, I think he was pointing to Verlander, like, look, his career was going down when he was with the Tigers. They traded him. And then he has some huge resurgence. All of a sudden, his ball's got a lot more movement on him.
Or was it Scherzer that said something?
No, it was Verlander. That I saw that. That was over the All-Star break, where someone asked about what do you think is causing, or someone said something. I think Verlander just agreed. He said that the balls are being doctored. He thinks that the core's off center or something. I don't know what the hell he was saying, but I don't think so. I think that I think maybe pitchers have just topped out with how good you can be at pitching. Honestly,
that's not the case though, is because all the advancements in baseball in the past 20 years have really been in pitching.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I'm saying, but now I think how much more movement can these pitches get? And I think the hitters have just grown up seeing these kids on travel teams throwing curveballs when they're 12.
You know, when you're seeing 90 mile an hour in high school.
Yeah.
You know, once you get to the big leagues, I guess it's not that much of an adjustment.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's like if you put Babe Ruth in the box against Clayton Kershaw, Babe Ruth is probably going to be...
He would get his ankles broke by that 12-6 curveball.
I don't think he's doing very good at all.
Daniel Tosh said, let's see how many home runs Babe Ruth hits when CC Sabathia is spinning a slider at 93 miles an hour.
Exactly. But then again, I think you take Mike Trout and you put him against whoever from back in the day.
He would hit 900 home runs.
Yeah. I think he would have no trouble hitting off a pitcher.
Ichiro would have had a 750 batting average.
Yeah, against whoever. I think even...
If Ichiro played when Ted Williams played?
Yeah, against whoever was pitching back then. I think any of these pitchers back then would just get rocked if they were pitching today. And then vice versa. If a pitcher...
Well, I still think there are the pitchers
And if a batter
who pitched back then.
if Mike Trout played in the fucking 30s and 40s, I think he would have been the greatest player of all time. He would have hit like 800 for a season.
I still think a guy like Bob Gibson or Sandy Koufax, I still think those guys would have been incredible in any era because Bob Gibson had both of those guys had ERAs under 2.
Yeah, no, there's certain guys that no matter what, but
You're talking about like
I'm
10,
just talking-
10 perfect games combined between them.
yeah, I mean they changed the rules because of Bob Gibson.
Yeah, they lowered the mound.
You can't be up so high. It's not fair. But
Also,
Yeah.
if you could stop being black.
there's outliers, of course, like certain players that would do good in any era. Depends on what position you are. Mike Trout, Griffey, those certain guys would just do good. I guess Griffey wouldn't do so hot before integration, but he'd do good in the Negro leagues, which a lot of those dudes would have wrecked baseball if they were allowed to play.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, actually,
I've heard a lot of people say that definitely like Jackie Robinson was not even close to being the best black player. But
Yeah.
he was the one they chose because they knew he wouldn't retaliate.
well, they knew that he was going to get death threats and people were going
Well,
to
that's what I
throw
mean.
shit at him while he was on the field.
And he's the one that's not going to
yeah.
retaliate. He's going to go out there and do his job and handle it. But maybe these other guys wouldn't do so hot.
Yeah, I guess
So
the
Satchel Paige or whoever.
I guess the guy who was the league leader at that time was also a drunk.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, well, we can't really
They were all drunks back then. Come on.
Yeah, probably.
MLB in the whatever, the 40s or 50s or whatever. When was that? When was integration in baseball?
40, 51?
Oh, shit, I guess I was right. I chose a 20.
47.
I chose a 20-year
Ni-
gap.
1947, I believe, is Jackie Robinson's rookie year.
So. Okay. How much for his rookie card?
Probably a shitload.
Billions. Billions and billions.
Especially if it's signed.
Yeah.
Jackie Robinson died pretty young.
Yeah, he didn't die. He didn't turn into an old man.
He died in the 70s.
Not like everyone on the internet today or these past couple days with that Face app thing. Did you seen that?
They did that to my uncle, and he's already old.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
what-
already old.
he's already old.
I wonder what he looks like when he's old. Look at him then.
He's like a little wrinklier.
To turn your head to the left because he's standing over there. I did one to myself. It was pretty entertaining. And then I started reading all about today how everyone's freaking out now because it's like a Russian-based company that did the app, and some of the wording in the license agreement was like, they're like, well, if you do this, they can keep your selfie and use it for whatever. And it's like everyone's freaking out, but in my mind, it's like isn't that how all of them are?
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, anything. Hey, you post on here, you're one of our members. We can use your shit without
Yeah.
telling you, or we can use it however we want. Because that was the whole thing they were saying. It's like, well, now they can
And
use
Google did the exact same
they
thing
can
a
use
year
your
ago.
photo for whatever they want. And I was like, well, luckily for me, I'm no one, so I don't give a shit.
Remember a year ago
They
when,
were
when
talking to like sports people and
Google came out with that app that like you would take a picture of yourself and it would show you what classical painting.
Yeah.
That's the exact same goddamn thing.
Exactly.
They're just cataloging us.
facial recognition.
They're
That's
They're tricking us into cataloging ourselves.
Yep, and I am doing it.
I did the art one, but I didn't do the old face app because I could just look at my dad.
Yeah, I did the old face one because it makes you like old. I mean, shit, your dad's in the 60s. This thing makes you look like you're in your 80s. It's pretty interesting, but at the same time, I was like, I look, pretty much like my grandpa. So that's not that mind-blowing, really, at all. That's kind of what I pictured I would look like because I'm starting to notice my dad like looking more and more like my grandpa.
The big bags under his eyes.
Yeah, and just the face just getting older. Nose getting bigger, ears are hanging. It's like
Yeah.
you just are starting to look like grandpa.
It
a
reminds
lot.
me of the-
Face is getting redder.
It reminds me of that kid in South Africa who asked Carl Pilkington. He's like, "Why is it that you don't have kids? Because you are old."
I fucking love that show, man. That's such a great show.
Yeah.
if anyone out there that's really rich and has seen An Idiot Abroad, I am also not receptive to other things. I would love to do something like that.
You don't want to stay in the hotels they made Carl Pilkington stay in.
Yeah, you can't be as mean to me as Ricky Gervais was to Carl.
It's not a fucking holiday, mate.
But goddamn, that was like most of the fun of the show. Like most of the fun wasn't him going to the places and being shell shocked. It was just
the next show he did.
Kept treating it as a vacation.
Well, the next show that he did where he didn't have to stay in shitty hotels wasn't as good. It's like Carl Pilkington's Moaning of Life.
Yeah,
it wasn't as good because
I don't think I watched the whole thing.
Yeah, the funny part of the show was how unhappy he was.
Yeah, I think I only watched a couple episodes of that one.
Do you think your discomfort would be as entertaining to an American audience, maybe, or an audience in general?
Probably.
You do have a funny way of complaining.
I complain.
Yeah.
Quite a bit too.
Yeah, you do. You complain your fair share and a couple other people's fair share as well.
Yeah. Well, if we're not doing something I feel like doing, I'm going to complain. And
you can turn a phrase. You have funny expressions.
Yeah, sure. Sure. Why not? Can't name any.
So what's the place we go to that? How do we?
I don't know. You tell me, Ricky Gervais.
It's a cheap show to make, obviously, because we don't have to pay for you to do, we don't have to pay for you to stay nice places
or do nice things. No, I don't know. That would be really interesting. But I don't know where. All over the world, I guess. Because that's how they chose with Carl, right? They looked up like an average like bucket list of stuff people want to do before they die.
They probably looked up
and just went through it and were like, oh, okay, pyramids. You want to go see the pyramids? And then he did and ran into those weird people that are talking about aliens and shit.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Honestly, they probably looked up the cheaper plane tickets that they could buy.
Yeah, why not, man? Or, I don't know, for plane tickets and stuff, they probably let him have a nice time. Because I'm assuming BBC or whoever paid for a lot
Sky TV.
That's 8 o'clock. How long have we been recording?
That's a good question. I don't know what time we started.
Is there a timer on there?
I can't see it. Hold on. It starts at 4:64.
464. My 464. Make sure all y'all kids don't grow.
It says 4:17 now. Do you want to stop and get Danny and maybe start again?
Maybe. I feel like, how long have we been recording, you just said?
So it started at 4:64 and now it says 4:17. So maybe like 45 minutes?
Yeah, I don't think Danny will want to. I think it's probably too late for him now.
It's past Danny's bedtime?
Well, he's got to work again tomorrow, so he won't want to.
Gotta work.
Gotta work. But I don't know. We also don't have to record for an hour every single time, I suppose.
Could be shorter.
Yeah, unless we got something else to talk about. Area 51 again. Everyone's talking about fucking aliens.
Oh, we do need a new theme song.
Hey, someone that's a friend of mine, make me a song.
Do you know any friends who make songs?
Yeah, sure. They would want to get paid though.
Like Bryce Bowden?
Oh, hell no. Maybe, I don't know.
Jason and James?
Yeah, maybe Jason and James. But I don't know, man. Just go get some nice royalty-free music. Those are all terrible.
Yeah, those songs suck.
Well, let's make a song then. Yeah, see? Now I got you. You're musically talented.
So let's make a song turned into you make a song.
Yeah, I'm not.
I make a song. That's what that turned into.
There we go. That's my musical talent. I'll play the table. See? Now, I don't know. I'll sing. I'll put on my best singing voice and I'll sing the theme song. No, I won't. I won't at all. I don't know, man. Why can't we use, you just don't want to use that first one anymore?
Yeah, I don't know. It's
Doesn't really fit our vibe, right? It's just because it says back in the
it's just because it says back in the basement. It doesn't really fit our vibe. I think it kind of takes credibility away from the show. Let's say we want to have some kind of scientist on.
Bitch, I'm back in the base.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna research this to see if, what kind of show this is." Fuck the kitchen, bitch! I'm back in the basement.
Yeah. I don't know. Then maybe.
And if we ever got famous enough that, I think it's a girl rapper, probably sue us. I don't know.
Definitely sue us. But you could always go in and edit that and just switch it away. But we won't get famous. It's okay. The only people that are watching are your parents, and they tell me not to swear. Right? Totally gonna swear. I think I actually did pretty good today. I don't think I swore too much. Right? I said a couple fuzzies and a couple shizzies in there, but for the most part, I was pretty good. Only when it needed to happen. Yeah. Pretty proud of myself. What, are you speechless? You don't know?
I don't know.
Do you think I swore too much in the first place?
I don't really pay attention to what you say that much.
Maybe you should. We're on a podcast together. That might help if you listen to things I say. No, it's I don't think I swear that much, probably. No more than the average man.
I showed Claire the Your Mom's House podcast, and she likes it when she started laughing really hard when Christina said she was saying that she always says to Tom, like, "Are you even listening to me?" Because I guess she says that. I guess she says that to me all the time. I can't really recall.
But you're not listening, so
she'll just be talking. Are you even listening to me? Oh, today.
Okay.
Today. So she's working nights. So she was home. She was on the couch when I got home from work. And I went into the kitchen and made myself a sandwich after work.
Uh-huh.
And as I was eating the sandwich, she took that opportunity to just start nagging me about a whole bunch of shit. Like when
eating your sandwich?
When I'm eating my sandwich, my mouth is full of sandwich. I can't defend myself.
Sounds like a smart move by her.
And I'm going to be honest, it ruined the sandwich a little bit.
Ah.
My sandwich definitely wasn't as good.
You could taste the hate?
It's just my mind was somewhere else. That's what it was.
It was on getting yelled at for things you've done. Which could have been bad, they could have not been bad. I don't know. I don't need you to talk about that on the podcast. But I don't know. I could see her yelling at you for something that you probably deserve to be yelled at.
I'm not saying it wasn't valid.
You're just saying that you wanted to enjoy your sandwich.
I'm just saying and I said specifically, after I made the sandwich, I said to her, "I'm going to sit down and eat this whole sandwich."
And she took that as her opportunity that he's going to have his mouth full for the next several minutes.
Yeah, she says, "I've got at least 12 minutes.
So I'm going to yell at you for stuff, and you won't be able to yell back. Because no one's going to yell between bites. You can't yell back between bites.
It wasn't yelling, it was nagging, though.
Well, I mean, you. Okay, you can't counter or put your counter argument out there between bites.
I can't say anything. And she just...
Well, actually, and then you go off for 2 minutes, and then you go back to your sandwich. Can't happen.
What kind of psychopath does that?
Can't happen.
And she said, I just need you to listen to me. And I said, that's all I'm doing. All I can do at this point.
Because, all you can do is listen and eat your sandwich. You're going to get in a lot more trouble if you just leave the room. And I'm eating my sandwich. I'm just going to go. Then you're going to be in big trouble.
Bill Burr has this really old bit. And he says, ladies, if you want your man to really love you, just make him a sandwich and then leave.
Yeah, I remember that.
Don't make him a sandwich and then throw a bunch of chores at him.
Yeah. Just make him a sandwich and then go do something.
He'll never leave you.
Yeah.
I made my own sandwich, and I got yelled at, nagged.
Well, I'm sure you did something awful.
It wasn't awful. It's just that.
Sure, it wasn't great. I don't know, man. I've known you for a while. You're not a guy that does great things. Very
Not
often.
a guy that does great things
I'm
very
thinking
often.
that you probably had it coming.
You think so?
Yeah, probably. I won't say for sure.
Well, I said it. It's not. I'm not saying it wasn't.
Okay.
Our complaints weren't valid.
Now you're leaning. Yeah, well, maybe she was. Yeah, she was right.
I'm not saying her complaints
So she
weren't
was
valid.
right.
She wasn't. I mean, right is such a subjective
Well, she
term.
wasn't wrong.
Right is such a subjective term. You know who's really right, Sam? Not me, not you.
Not me for sure. I've been wrong many times. Most of the time, actually, probably. Just how it goes. Now what? Are we done now?
I don't know. I told my sandwich story.
809. I have no sandwich stories. I'm sorry. I made a good sandwich the other day.
What did it have on it?
I made it out of a 2 chicken strips that I had gotten and didn't eat, so they were in the fridge. That's it.
So just chicken strips on bread?
Yeah, that's all. That's all it was. No, I chopped them up and then I mixed it up and with a bunch of cheese and I cooked it kind of like a cheesesteak would, like on a pan with the cheese.
I got you
I put some spices on there and shit.
I got you a chicken tender sub from Publix, right?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, they literally take chicken strips, they chop them up, they throw Texas Pete hot sauce on there, cover it with cheese, toast it, it's done.
Yeah, that's I kind of mixed it again so the cheese was melted and mixed in there, and then I garlic breaded up my bread, and I fucking ate it. Spicy chicken strips too. It was real good.
From where?
Safeway.
Oh.
From the Safeway Deli. That's where I get my stuff. Good deal. I pimped the system there the other day. I probably shouldn't say this though, because one guy was like, "I got Just the other day, I went there, same thing. I got some chicken strips and got a little mac and cheese, as I do, and then I got a pizza stick too. And the guy was like, "Can I put the pizza sticks and the chicken strips in the same bag?" It's like, "Yeah, sure." And then I went to the self checkout and I only scanned the pizza sticks part.
Oh, so he put different stickers on it. So he put the 2
He
stickers
was like,
on
"I'll
one
put
bag.
2 stickers on one bag because they're both in the same bag." And I was like, "Cool, I'll just scan the pizza sticks part at the self-checkout, put it down, and I just pimped the system and got some free chicken strips. West, y'all."
You can do that every single time because if you just tell them like, 3 chicken strips and a pizza stick, and you can put them all in the same bag, that's fine.
How long till I get caught?
Never. Did you hear about the kid who?
Unless Mr. Safeway himself is watching this.
Did you hear about the kid who took a PlayStation up to the U-Scan and scanned it
He put another barcode on there or something?
No, he entered it in as fruit. He as apples and then weighed it and paid.
Did he figure out how much the PS4 versus Apple's weighs?
Well, he paid for a PlayStation's weight in apples, which, I mean, even if that's 20 apples, it's not that much money.
Yeah, it's better than buying a PlayStation.
Yeah, he got caught though.
How did they catch him?
No,
I
he
wonder.
probably bragged about it.
Yeah, definitely. What
Because
a
if I did that shit,
stupid
I'd be
kid.
bragging about that too.
Oh, I know it'd be so hard not to brag, but then you'd get caught. Only if someone snitches on you, though. I wonder who snitched on him.
One of his punk ass.
See, because I would do the opposite and be
Friends.
not snitch. I'd be like, "Really? I'm going to.
I'm
Fred
gonna do
Meyer
that too."
today. I'm going there today. I'm going to buy a couple PS4s and I'm going to sell the second one. Bing, bom, boom, bing. That's how you make the money.
That's how you make money.
Apples versus PS4s.
I want to get a Switch, but
So fun.
I actually read online that so right after you saw the new Switch that got announced, the one that doesn't plug into the dock.
No.
It's called the Switch Lite, and it's literally if you couldn't take the Joy-Cons off the side of the Switch.
So it's a Game Boy?
Yes.
It's a Game Gear. So Sega Game Gear?
Yeah, it's basically just a Switch that can't plug into your TV.
That sounds stupid.
I don't know.
I like it better where you can take it on the go.
I don't know.
I've only taken it on the go like twice.
Yeah.
Every other time I only end up playing it when I'm with my friends.
I'd rather plug it into the TV as well.
Yeah, I got the big TV screen.
But so right after that came out, they filed a patent with the U.S. Patent Office. It was a really vague patent, but it did say that they're changing out the computing chip that's going inside the Switch. And the one that's in there now apparently is from when it came out. They haven't changed out the chip since it came out 3 years ago or so.
I don't know when it came out.
At least 2 years ago, right?
Something like that, yeah.
So they're putting a new chip in there, and there's been rumors of the Switch Pro coming out. So if
they keep making the games,
how much is the regular Switch? $250 or $299?
I think it was $300.
So if the Switch Pro is $400, I'll buy that. I guess for the better graphics.
Better graphics. I mean, it's going to be the same games.
It's the same games. It's just going to have like less load times and better graphics. That's the only difference.
With Nintendo, it's like most of their games don't go for good graphics anyway, so what's the point?
Yeah, Nintendo for a while has been, pretty much ever since the Wii, have been skimping on graphics to keep the price point down.
I like that. Which, I mean, it's not that much cheaper.
Yeah, the
$300 for the system, games are still $60.
The Wii came out in like 2007, and that was when HD TVs were in full swing. Like the PlayStation 3 came out at that time, at the same time, and it was a big deal. It was all HD. Xbox 360 was all HD at that point, and the Wii was 480p.
Really?
So instead 1080 is HD.
Yeah.
And it was 480.
Wow. That's not good.
Yeah.
But who fucking cares, dude? Smash Bros, you don't need to have good graphics.
Yeah.
Mario Kart, all the classic games that everyone wants to play.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to go play these, games that are across platforms that come out for all these different systems, then you're going to want to play it on PS4 or Xbox One with the good graphics. No one's going to want to play it on Switch.
Yeah, like a photorealistic game like Red Dead Redemption or something like that.
Yeah, if they came out with that for Switch, no one would buy it for Switch because it would be like playing a PS2.
So, like I'm saying, if they beef up the graphics card and just charge a little bit more money,
you'll just wait.
People will buy it.
Yeah, I would. I'll just keep the OG just because I already have it.
I think we're close.
I'm not a Danny type person that needs to buy every single. No, I was about to buy a PS4, but I heard the PS5's coming out soon. Yeah, you've been hearing that for like 5 years.
You've been hearing that since the PS4 came out. Yeah. But I think we're close enough to Christmas at this point where I can just wait until.
Now, no one in my family loves me enough to spend that much money.
No, I'm not saying that someone in my family is going to buy me a Switch. I'm just saying that if Nintendo is going to release a Switch Pro, they're going to do it for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they won't. Right. They won't let the Christmas season. They won't release it in February.
Yeah, definitely not.
It'll definitely be a late October or early November release if it's going to happen.
And it will.
So here we are in
mid-July.
If I can, I'll just make it, another 3 or 4 months without a Switch, and then I'll jump on the bandwagon.
I think you'll be fine. But what do I know?
Are there any really good games coming out for the rest of this year?
I don't know. I just kind of sit there and play Smash all the time. That's the game I like. If there is a good game coming out, then I'm just going to get it for PS4 because I got one of those too. Unless it's not a cross-platform. But I don't think there's any games exclusive to Nintendo that are like, raved about. That's like E3. They're like, whoa, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10.
The new Zelda game was pretty good.
Okay, except for that.
Yeah, except for that.
That's like the one exception.
Was there a Mario game on Switch? It's Super Mario Odyssey?
Super Mario Odyssey. It was fun. I haven't finished it, actually. I played it one day. Super easy, like any Mario game. I played it for...
Well, the thing is, they start easy and they get really hard really quick.
That's true. When I played Mario Odyssey one night, I got through the first 2 worlds, and then I have not played since. I'll fire it up again eventually. I just don't know when. Oh, my fucking back
I don't know. I'm looking. I binge game. I don't like.
Play it for a long time.
Yeah, there's not like a game that I play for on a regular basis. Like I'll get really into a game and I'll play it for like a couple of months and then I'll finish it and then I won't play games for a couple more months.
That's what I did with
I find a new game.
Spider-Man. And now as soon as I feel like it, that's what I'll do with Red Dead 2. I've just had Red Dead 2 sitting in my room, just waiting for a time to play it. No, I'm going to have to delete all my other shit, though.
You have nothing but time, Sam.
I'm not that much into games as I used to be. Or, like, I don't know. I've had that game sitting there and the new Black Ops, and I just haven't played either of them just because I feel like I only play video games now when I'm hanging out with my friends. I don't ever just sit there and play video games alone. If I'm chilling alone, then I'm going to probably watch a movie or a show of some kind. Like, I need to watch the show Legion. I need to watch season 3 of it. It's an X-Men show. It's pretty good. Me and Stu watched it for a while. Now I got to, because I just got done binging season 3 of Stranger Things. Do you watch that show?
Nope.
It's a good show. You might like it. It's a cool sci-fi show. There's monsters and shit.
You know what Bert Kreischer was talking about on his show today? Letterkenny.
I've seen a couple episodes.
You've seen a couple episodes. Just watch the first season.
Me.
Watch the first season.
I just found the hockey guys to be annoying. I didn't think they were funny. And it just kind of made me...
Wheel snipe Selly, boys. Dirty fucking dangles, boys.
Yeah.
Ferda.
You're saying the F word too much, man. It's kind of... You need to cut down on the F word.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's what I say.
You got Letterkenny is one. It's a smart show and it's a ridiculously fast-paced show. It's very Canadian in how dry it is.
I do love Canadian humor. They're very funny people.
The Canadians are pound for pound some of the funniest people on planet Earth.
Who we got?
Jim Carrey,
the Trailer Park Boys,
Norm Macdonald, John Candy.
John Candy.
Are those not 3 of the funniest people of the...
Who else we got? I know there's more. Mike Myers.
Mike Myers. Dana Carvey's from California.
Steve Martin isn't Canadian, is he?
No, I don't think so. But Letterkenny, the Red Green Show.
Red Green is a good one. I know there's more out there. God damn. All right. We'll talk about funny Canadians.
I'm pretty sure Jim Carrey, Norm Macdonald, John Candy. That's your big 3 right there.
That's your Mount Rushmore.
And
Mike Myers.
And Mike Myers. That's your Mount Rushmore of Canadian comedy.
Funny Canadians. That'll work, right?
So another thing, Claire was watching these Korean dramas, Korean soap operas that are on Netflix.
Why?
I don't know.
Subtitles?
Yeah.
Seth Rogen. Duh.
Yeah, he's Canadian.
Here we go. John Candy, Jim Carrey, Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen's fucking hilarious.
Dan Aykroyd.
Also,
Mike Myers.
Yep.
Eugene Levy.
Oh, man.
Rick Moranis.
I forgot about Schitt's Creek. Schitt's Creek is a Canadian show.
Oh, okay. Rick Moranis.
Yep.
Phil Hartman.
Yep.
Norm. Seth Rogen. Fucking Michael J. Fox. I don't know who.
He's not really a comedic actor.
But he's okay. We are talking comedians. He's a good Canadian, though.
I mean, Michael J. Fox can crack a joke, but he's not.
Dude, Martin Short.
Oh,
maybe that's why I thought Steve Martin, because I'm Martin Short.
Because they toured together.
Will Arnett.
Okay,
Dude,
so
Tommy Chong is Canadian?
Yes, he is.
What the hell?
Yes, he is.
Colin Mockery.
There you go.
Whose line? Favorite. Ryan Reynolds. Hilarious. Michael Cera. God damn, dude. There's a lot. Dave Foley, Kids in the Hall. All the guys from Kids in the Hall.
Sean William Scott is not Canadian, but he's from like Minnesota, so that's close enough.
That's close enough. I thought he was Canadian.
Yeah.
Russell Peters is pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
They just got the what's their names on there? Trailer Park Boys. Howie Mandel, I guess. Now Matthew Perry. Now we're getting weird. Oh, Tom Green, funny guy. Jay Baruchel? Baruchel?
I don't know how to say his name either.
Jay. We'll just call him Jay.
Yes. Prolific director.
John Dunsworth. Oh, it's just Canadian Trailer Park Boys. Harlan Williams, hilarious. Will Sasso.
Yeah.
I love Will Sasso.
Yeah.
Old Billy Shat.
Yeah, William. He's also
not
not
funny,
also
but-
not a comedian.
Yeah.
Although he is very funny in certain things, but
They got
he's
Julian on the list. They say he was from Goon. Who was he in Goon? Lorne Michaels. Does he count?
he's like the godfather of comedy.
The Godfather of Canadian comedy.
You know, I'm hearing a lot of Jews on this list.
Yeah. A lot of Jewish Canadians
A
apparently.
lot of Jewish Canadians.
All right, I think I've got to the Nathan Fielder. That guy's pretty funny.
I never got into that show.
Oh, Taco from the League. John
Jean Lajoie.
Jean Lajoie. There you
I
go.
guess it makes sense that he's Canadian.
No, French Canadian apparently.
So yes,
Alex Trebek.
watch Letterkenny. Canadians, so the Korean dramas. Claire watches these Korean dramas, and they look like shit. They're shot terribly. They're edited terribly. The acting's super fucking corny. And I asked her, I was like, South Korea has like double the population of Canada, double the GDP of Canada, and their shows still look like fucking trash.
They just don't care.
They're a very technologically capable people.
Why don't they want to make good, high quality shows?
South Koreans,
They just don't give a shit.
They
People still watch them.
they make cameras, they make computers. I don't know what's preventing them from making a really good looking show.
Cameras and computers. Yeah, that was the last about 60 on that list were not very notable. But hey, that was a lot of people.
But for a country that has a population less than California,
Yeah, that was a lot of people that are very funny.
that's what I'm talking about.
And speaking of people that are funny, you know what I remembered today? Because I saw it on a timeline of them promoting their show in a different city. Is we're going to see Chappelle.
I am so fucking
and
stoked about
Rogan.
that, by the way.
Oh, Chappelle is my favorite comedian of all time, and Joe Rogan is.
I've never seen Joe Rogan, and
Joe Rogan. I've never seen either of them live.
Yeah,
and
no, I've
Joe
never seen
Rogan
Chappelle.
is also hilarious. He's not one of my favorites all time.
Joe Rogan said who'd be
Stand-up wise.
Joe Rogan said who'd be opening for them at that show. It's going to be Donnell Rollins.
Oh,
Yeah,
Ashley Larry.
yeah, and oh god, I forget who the other comedian he said was coming, but it was somebody we both know.
Cool.
Yeah, it's
I almost figured there wouldn't be an opener since they were both there.
no. There's gonna be like 2 openers.
Good, man. That's awesome. Yeah, that's creeping up before too long. I think it was August 2nd.
August, yeah, something.
That's going to be awesome, man. I can't wait.
I'm.
Chappelle is by far my favorite comedian ever. Well, not by far.
I mean, and every.
He's definitely number one.
I mean, everyone just talks about how seeing Dave Chappelle is like another level experience.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if I had the opportunity to see Richard Pryor and I didn't, I feel like it's the same thing. I feel
Yeah.
like we're talking about
And I had to jump on it early because you knew that shit was going to sell out super quick. Once I
it sold out in an hour, didn't it?
Yeah, when
I think Joe Rogan said that. He said Tacoma sold out in an hour.
Because when I first saw that it was there, it was like you need to register for tickets because they're trying to make it so people can't resell them. Buy 20 tickets and
Yeah.
resell all 20 of them. So I had to enter my email and wait for confirmation, enter all these codes and shit. And then once I did, it was like the only tickets available were the cheapest ones. It's like, I'm still going to get it. I have to go to this.
Yeah.
By far my favorite comedian.
Yeah.
Well, like I said earlier, not by far. I just love him.
Yeah.
But, Bill Burr's right there.
But Chappelle is going to talk for 90 minutes at least.
yeah. And Joe Rogan's going to be awesome too.
Yeah.
And so is Ashley Larry.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great show. I cannot wait. I have
Are we just going to leave our phones in the car?
yeah.
Yeah, you know
Because
how
they're going to make you turn them in.
Yeah, Chappelle does at
Oh, wait.
every
I
at
guess
every
if I
Chappelle
print
show.
the tickets out, then yeah.
Yeah, we'll print the tickets out at every Chappelle live show. He makes you put your phones away.
That's
You-
fine
it'll,
with me,
check
man.
them. I'm not trying to wait in that fucking line.
Yeah, no
But I think
way.
we might run into an issue with security where they're like, "All right, give us your phones.
We don't have one.
We don't have them."
We left them in the car.
Bullshit.
Search me. Just don't look in my butt. That's where I keep my second phone for emergencies, just in case I get into a sticky situation, you know?
Help! Help!
Yeah, here, give me a second.
911!
I'll call the police on my very smelly phone.
All right. I saw a man in Seattle in broad daylight
Pooping.
on a busy street
Pooping.
taking a shit.
Ah, nice. Cool. Yeah, there's a lot of homeless people in Seattle. They kind of do whatever they want.
Yeah, he was definitely a junkie.
Because I seen a guy, granted it was an alley, but still, just walking to like a Mariners game and look to my right, and there's just a dude deucing, like leaning up on the building, pooping. It's like, come on, dude. I don't want to see that.
So I work downtown now, and I stash my motorcycle under the viaduct and then like walk up to where I work. And as I got back to my motorcycle, this like junkie lady rode up on a Lime bike and just says, "You got drugs? You got any drugs?"
No.
I just shook my head, and there was like a whole like dice game full of homeless people behind me.
No, I don't.
And she asked them, "You guys got drugs?"
Yes, we do. What you want?
That's what happens when you stash your motorcycle underneath the viaduct.
Yeah, man, you're gonna find a whole lot of people down there that want drugs. God,
I've heard that
many homeless people.
West
man.
Palm Beach started their idea to clear homeless people from the parks is to play the Baby Shark song really loud.
Does it work?
I guess we'll see.
I saw, apparently in the past couple of days, people have been getting stabbed in Seattle by some homeless people. So that's kind of scary. Makes you not really want to go to Seattle all that much.
Whereabouts have they been getting stabbed?
I don't remember. I heard about it. I heard about it from different people, not like through a source. I didn't read it on the internet or anything. I heard it mentioned on the radio.
Yeah, man, it really is crazy how many fucking homeless people are there.
It's amazing. It didn't used to be that bad.
There's
always was homeless people.
Yeah.
But it's been crazy. Like the past 10 years has been like an explosion of homeless people.
Tents on the side of the freeway and shit like that.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten off the freeway around the Northgate Mall?
I'm sure I have.
Like the Cloverleaf to get off the freeway, like one of them was like full of tents.
Yeah, no matter what freeway exit or entrance you get
There's
on or
always
off,
someone
there's
begging.
going to be tents around, in the parts where it's not road. Or there's going to be someone standing there begging. And the one I see all the time that makes me mad is people that sit out there and beg with their kid. Like, come on.
Yeah, you're making... I saw that down at the QFC right over here.
I seen it up at the Safeway by my house. Which
Yeah,
this
just
is a weird thing, too.
This lady's just making her kids sit out there all goddamn
Homelessness
day.
Used to, when we were kids, homelessness was Seattle only. It's like now I'm seeing homeless people pop up around
Because
Kirkland.
There's a guy who's been panhandling the freeway exit, the 405 entrance
Past
right down
couple
here.
years.
He's been down there for the last 15 years.
15?
He makes a comfortable living down there.
Shit, yeah, he has been down there a lot.
But the thing,
I don't know if it's
that
been
lady with her
15.
fucking kids outside the QFC,
You're just trying to guilt people because you have kids. Fuck you.
you know there are a ton of fucking resources for people like that. Like
Yeah.
for single mothers who have, kids they have to.
Yeah, you know that QFC you're standing in front of?
Yeah.
Fucking go in there. They'll give you a job bagging groceries,
They have
cleaning
food
bathrooms.
stamps. There's all kinds of like family housing shelters and my dad's crazy cousin Jeff was telling me before he died.
R.I.P.
He said, "Nady, all you got to do is spend a week in a homeless shelter. You get your certificate of homelessness, and then you can get housing for like $150 a month. You can get an apartment for $150
This is
a
something
month."
that Jeff did?
This is something that Jeff did.
Hey.
He was a sketchy individual.
Cool, though.
Yeah.
Cool over the phone.
Yeah. He was cool in real life, too.
How often did you see him in real life? A couple times? Whenever you went over to the coast to visit?
I saw him in Boston a couple times, and he came out to visit here
Oh, nice.
once or twice.
Sounds like a guy that wouldn't be too invested in buying a plane ticket, from what I've heard. The guy that's pimping the system with housing payments and stuff.
Well,
by
that
being
was
fake homeless.
That was like right before he died. But,
Okay.
But before that, he got arrested for heroin.
Oh, okay. So sketchy things.
Yeah, he would drop.
How close in age was he to your father?
He was my dad's age. Like they were both
same exact. So that's like who your dad grew up hanging out with.
Yeah, that was like his. That was his cousin, was his best friend, and like also his drug dealer.
Was his cousin's best friend?
No. That was Jeff was his cousin.
Oh, you're saying he was his
his cousin and his best friend and
Gotcha.
and the guy who had all the drugs.
Yeah. So was that your dad's dad? Like, he's your cousin. So was it his on your dad's side or your dad's mom? You don't even know.
His name wasn't Gettleman.
Okay, so maybe it was on your mom's or your dad's mom's side or something.
I have no. I honestly have no idea.
That happens with me too in my family. When sometimes I think about stuff, I'm like, wait a minute.
No, my dad would be able to tell you. He'd say like, "Oh, my aunt was his mom." I don't know. I guess that's generally how cousins work, right?
Yeah. All right, I think we should probably cut it short or cut it off pretty soon. We're probably getting towards an hour. I feel like if we go too much over an hour, people probably won't listen to us.
What does it matter?
I don't know. I guess you could always cut it up into smaller bits. I feel like people might watch those more than the whole episodes. But I think when I was looking at views, is like the first episode. I think it had the most views.
Yes, the first episode.
So
did have the
is
most
that
views.
where you said the views went up by like 100 overnight?
Yeah.
Was it all videos or?
It didn't really say specifically.
You just noticed? Do you have the number since you actually run the page?
Yeah. So there's this YouTube Studio app right here. YouTube Studio. Here you go. It tells us right there. Currently,
like a day or?
watch time in minutes is 1.7 thousand. Watch time in minutes. 20 subscribers. 426 views.
So you said it gets around 4,000 watch minutes or 4,000 views. Is when
4,000. I think 4,000 views is when you can get monetized.
hey man, we're well on our way.
Well, after a month
A month, and it seemed like it really wasn't that much work. We just show up and talk for a little bit.
wasn't that much work for
We
you
fucking
because you're not editing the goddamn
Okay,
episodes.
well, that's not what I mean. Like the actual episodes, like
Yeah.
we honestly haven't really planned going to any of these episodes. We show up
Except for the video
and we
ones.
just talk to each other.
Yeah. The video
That's
one,
what we do anyways.
the video ones are planned, but
yeah. Which we're building towards.
goddamn,
We're going to start building up videos
I
again.
really got to piss like a racehorse.
All right, well, let's end the episode then.
Okay. Bye.
Okay, bye everyone. Thanks for watching. If you're still watching, even though we've just been rambling for a while, but your views are very appreciated, and we love you. I'm going to drink my beer now. Any and all support is welcomed. Anyone that shares any of our videos, comments on them, views them, anything is very appreciated. And yeah, like I've said before, if you want to be on the podcast, then you definitely can. If you want to just message me, talk to me, we can find out a time, or you can message Nate, and we can figure out a time to get you on here. I've been talking to a couple people in my life recently. Bo Forbes is one I grew up with that we'll get on here soon. We'll talk about film and TV and all types of stuff. The Game of Thrones ending, I want to dig into that with him because he's sort of a film and TV snob. And
You know, I feel like
because of him and his father, mainly Jack Forbes, shout out to Jack, that's why I'm so into movies and TV, is that when I would grow up, I was best friends with Zach Forbes, Bo Forbes' younger brother, and he used to pay for us to go see movies pretty much every single time I was over there. And then we'd usually do the whole watch a movie and then just walk into a theater that's starting the next movie, you know?
now
Bang Bang.
I remember like I always knew of Zach and Bo Forbes, but I can't remember like specifically any interactions.
And I guess you probably just knew them from going to the same schools.
Yeah.
I have those people too where it's like, yeah, I know that guy's name.
That,
I don't know him.
That's exactly where I'm at.
Yeah.
Right
I've heard
here.
that name before.
Definitely.
But I have no clue who that is now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's yeah, he's a good dude, and he knows a shit ton about movies, and he knows a lot about Seattle sports and stuff too. He's a huge Seahawks fan, so we got the Seahawks season coming up here pretty soon. We haven't even talked about the Seahawks once. We've been talking about the Mariners, and they're fucking awful. Who even cares about them? Seahawks are actually going to be good. I seen a little countdown just today that was like the teams, the top 5 teams that are for the next 3 years. It's what the experts think, and we were like number 5, so that's good. At least we're in the top 5. And then the other ones were like Colts and fucking Rams and shit like that. It's like, yeah, but especially when it comes to like the Colts, it's like we got a better front office than the Colts. We're gonna be all right.
Oh yeah.
John Schneider and Pete Carroll are gonna bring in more talent than Jim Irsay's drunk ass is gonna bring in. But yeah, well, we can talk about the Seahawks next podcast too. They're gonna be pretty solid. I think they're gonna be pretty good this year. We lost Doug Baldwin. That makes me very sad. But man, I have a really good feeling that this DK Metcalf is gonna be good. He killed at the combine, so you have the skills. If you can't do it, it's got to be a mental thing. You're fast as fuck. You're big as fuck. You're strong as shit. You can jump high. You got good hands. It's like, at this point, if something goes wrong, I just don't know what to tell you.
I guess
But that's happened before.
okay, so next
Bush.
episode is our football episode.
Reggie Bush.
We'll dive into our
Reggie Bush.
2019 predictions.
Someone who's done very good at the combine but didn't pan out so good.
We'll talk about
Reggie Bush.
draft choices.
I think Reggie Bush set a record like a couple of years ago as the only back to like, you know how you need a certain number of carries to qualify for stats or whatever? They have that with everything. Same with baseball. You need a certain number of at-bats for your batting average to qualify, you know? Because if you have 2 at-bats and you get 2 hits, you're batting 1,000. You're not going to be at the top of the league. You need at least 50 or whatever it is, something like that. Reggie Bush, I think, became the first person to ever qualify for the stat of like yards per carry to get negative. Or maybe he got negative yards on the season. It was one of the two. That's pretty bad.
His career wasn't all trash. I mean,
No, he started off great with New Orleans because you have Drew Brees thrown to you out of the backfield. You're good. But
Yeah.
then Sheldon Brown fucking cracked him so hard that he knocked all the skill out of Reggie Bush. You should look up that video and put it for them to see because it is one of the hardest NFL hits ever. I think it was in the playoffs too. But he was pretty good, and just unfortunately for him coming out of college, everyone was like, wow, this is the next Barry Sanders. So fast, so quick with his cuts. Like, no one can touch this dude. He's so fast, it's over. But
Kardashians. That's what happened.
Kardashian curse, dude.
That's what happened.
At least you ain't smoking meth and crack like Lamar Odom, man. Just be happy you finished with negative yardage and you didn't finish with smoking crack.
See, Verlander got a super hot girlfriend, and then his career sucked for a minute, but he was able to bring it back.
And I think he's still fucking her, so. Good
Oh
for
no,
him.
yeah, they're definitely still together. By the
Good
way,
for them. Longevity, right?
yeah, good for them. And
Yeah.
and they were one of the prime targets of that big hack.
Yeah.
I forget what it was even called. Something gate, nude gate. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, something gate. But that was cool. There was a lot, like, that was all right. There was a lot of.
Yeah, I mean,
I felt bad for them, but as a person that's creepy, it was all right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Seeing nobody is gonna not want to see Kate Upton naked.
Yeah.
But then
Super.
just know that if you want to see that, you're gonna see Justin Verlander's penis.
Shit happens. All I remember is there was like one picture that was like
His ass.
it was like Justin Verlander and her in like a mirror or something, and he was like sideways, like,
Yeah,
with hands on her hips.
You see his
And
like
someone-
pasty white
And
ass.
someone photoshopped that with with Prince Fielder in the body issue. So it was Prince Fielder like posing naked with a bat with Justin Verlander behind him, like grabbing his hips. Hilarious.
Okay, so the football episode will be next time. We'll make sure to bring some qualified football people on. Maybe we'll get Carl for that one.
Maybe, if he wants to show up.
Carl can talk football and tell us
Carl Pilkington.
Tell us stories about growing up in South King County.
Dogs. Dog beer. It's pretty light. I feel like I didn't even drink. 5.8. I guess that's not so light. Little baby Coco's on the front. Okay, now are we done?
I guess I gotta kill this beer and then line it up, and then we'll be done.
Then light it up.
Well, hold on. Stack them like a
Pyramid?
like a pyramid.
Why are you taking my side? Bingo. Dogs.
Talk while I chug.
I don't know what to talk about. Yeah, we'll talk about probably mainly the sea. I could talk about any team, really. We could talk about how everyone talks shit about your uncle. That's the funny thing is, it's so weird to me that your uncle is the GM of an NFL franchise.
I had to listen to reporters talk shit about him, like in the locker room while we were waiting for the players to come out. Like,
Just
seriously,
them not knowing that
they had no fucking clue.
his nephew is sitting right next to
It's
you.
the idiots from the fucking New York Post.
What a fucking moron, man! Out here drafting Daniel Jones.
We'll get into that, and we'll pull up some Daniel Jones highlights to watch.
I haven't seen any highlights, but
We'll pull up some.
I'm halfway with your uncle. I'm halfway with the people talking shit about
We'll
him.
pull up some Daniel Jones highlights, and we'll analyze them play by play.
As if we know stuff, but yeah, we'll do it.
Fucking, I know stuff.
Yeah, I know a little bit, not as much. Fucking man, maybe I know as much as people pretend to know about their scouts. Yeah, he throws good. He threw that ball and it got to the guy.
See, I've actually hung out around a lot of scouts, so I've just absorbed some of that language, so I know how to sound like I know what I'm talking about.
But you really don't?
I mean, I have worked the last 4 years in football, so
Maybe you do.
I kind of do. But I don't know as much as like real football people. Like my friend in Atlanta who just got the job with the Falcons, he actually like played football in high school and junior college. So he has an understanding of the game that's on a whole other level than what I have. Because he played defense too, so he's seeing things in the defense that aren't even really things in my mind.
And seeing things in the offense, because he's got to read the offense and the quarterback and
that
stuff.
too.
So yeah, that would yeah.
Football episode. That's the one that's gonna get shared.
Foosball episode. Yeah, doesn't have to be exclusively foosball if we think of something saucy to talk about, but yeah. Okay, bye everyone. Meow. Wah. That was my Luigi noise. You like that?